The goal for CMS is to have an effective teacher in every classroom. In order to help us achieve that goal, we participated in the Measures of Effective Teaching research study. The primary focus of this study was to videotape classroom instruction. The teachers, upon seeing their videotapes, realized how valuable that was for them to be able to see what was going on in their classroom environment and to make sure that they accomplished the goals that they set out to achieve when they taught the lesson. As a result of that feedback that I received from teachers, I started to think about how we could use this technology in the district after the study was completed.
When a teacher gets up in front of the room, they're so involved in what they're doing, and rightly so, that they don't necessarily always capture what every student in the classroom is doing or saying, or the engagement level of 32 different children in the room. After the comfort level smoothed out, and they watched their videos, they were able to see not only themselves, which is the part they don't really want to see, that's what makes them uneasy, but they were also able to see the reaction of all the students during the entire instruction.
I noticed that at the beginning, while I was really nervous about the camera being there and how was everything going to work, it was actually super easy. One time I even set it up on my own. I was like, gosh, this is easier than I expected. My kids actually, they got used to it over time and started to not pay attention to the camera, but at first they all were really on and excited to be a part of it too.
It's even more impacting for a teacher to go back and look at it, to be able to see what the students' faces look like as they comprehended or what they didn't comprehend. And it gives us a new understanding, because sometimes I know with a 70-minute class, 3 classes a day, it's important to be able to go back to an exact moment. And sometimes you miss a moment that was pretty important as well. So it's nice to be able to review what you had done and be able to see it word for word, moment for moment, second for second, and go from there and be able to reflect on it.
You're going to get 360 degrees of view, and you're actually able, when you're watching the video, to kind of click the mouse, turn it around, oh, let me look from this angle, let me look from that angle. The sound, the audio part is amazing. You can not only hear yourself, but sometimes you hear little comments that you didn't even know the kids made during class. It's really easy to pause and rewind and change the point of view of the camera.
The camera is very easy to set up once you do it one time. After that, everything just comes naturally. There's actually very few steps, and most of them are very simple, like plugging in a USB cable. The most important thing is just making sure that everything is connected and that you have batteries and everything before starting the capture, because it's the little things that will mess it up.
That it's just as easy to program as using your DVR at home. If you're comfortable using a laptop computer and making sure everything is plugged in the correct places, it's just as simple to use as any type of technology like an iPod.
With Teachscape Reflect and with our panoramic technology, you don't need somebody in there. You set up the camera kind of in the middle of the room, you're videotaping all over 360 degrees, and whenever you go back to review these captures, you can pick and choose where I'm focusing that particular review.
It's very important that teachers understand that we are putting this in place to help them improve their practice. So to that end, they are the ones who control what is videotaped and when, and they also get to control who gets to see those videotapes.
When I'm watching the playback, I really see so much more than I expected to see. I didn't realize that I only stood on the right side of the room, and I didn't realize that I only called on kids in the first 3 rows. So when I was helping myself develop as a better teacher, I started to notice little habits that I had. But I think that it also helps me develop because I could track myself over time.
Our #1 mission is to help teachers better their practice. So for an example, we have an instructional coaching tactic, and we want to be able to provide an opportunity for mentors, as an example, or academic facilitators or math facilitators to be able to see, what does best practice as an instructional coach look like?
Logistically, it is very difficult to give teachers the opportunity to observe each other, and this eliminates that obstacle and allows teachers to see best practices as they are being used in other classrooms and learn from each other. These films can be viewed not only in a team meeting environment, they could also be viewed at any time.
We want to develop a toolkit, a digital library, where we can go out pre-K-12 across all disciplines and capture teachers doing what they do best, so that our new teachers come in fresh into our field or in the first years of experience, and they actually can see theory turned into practice.
We have a great opportunity to allow teachers to reflect on their practice, which is something that they don't often get the opportunity to do. I have heard back from some teachers that it's been real valuable for me to be able to look in my videotape and see that what I thought I was achieving, I didn't actually achieve. So I could go back to my students and then cover that information again so that they can actually learn what I intended for them to learn.